Hello students, this should help you figure out whether or not your planet might have an atmosphere and what gases, if any, it might be able to hold. Make sure you're at this website. There should be links to this in Canvas, and this should already be open on the laptop that I've got for you to use in the classroom. This will not work on your iPad. Okay, on this page here, let's first take a look at this part, the gas retention plot. This red dot will represent the planet based on the characteristics that you put in down here, where we've got the temperature you'll have to enter, the radius, and the density. And you'll notice that down here, after you put in the numbers that you have, it will tell you what the mass should be and the escape velocity. You can use either of those things to kind of check to see if you're right, if you have any of those known variables. Now, if you don't have any of these particular variables, try this website. Here's the address up here. I'll try and make that available in Canvas as well, but it's also open on those computers. Anyway, use this and plug in whatever values you do know, and it can solve for what you don't know. Just be very careful with this, that you select the correct units of measurement. In general, go with kilometers instead of miles. If you're doing mass, go with kilograms or Earth masses. Actually, I prefer you use Earth masses. For radius, use kilometers, not miles. After you get your answers, be careful to make sure and convert them correctly when you go back to here, because this might be in slightly different metric conversions than what we were using. Ask me or another teacher or another student for help converting numbers if you need. Now, once you have this information about your planet in there, the red dot will move accordingly. As you see, I'm sliding these numbers around, or you can go in and enter the numbers, and it will move it for you. Now, actually, I know I want to get a planet right about there. Okay, just for point of reference as an example. Now, then we can select different gases. Over here, I clicked on the box for hydrogen, and after having clicked on the box for hydrogen, we get these lines and colors. This line is a threshold whereby above this line in the colored area, that means any object in that area would be able to maintain hydrogen in its atmosphere. This is it could have some of it, but it's going to escape over time. It won't really hold on to it for an extended amount of like billions of years, the kind of thing we're looking for. If it's down here in the white, it does not hold that kind of gas at all. So this particular planet would not have hydrogen in its atmosphere. Now let's try another gas. If I go over here on this list of gases, I first chose hydrogen. It's the lightest of the gas, molar mass, only 2 units. Down here we have xenon, which is the heaviest on the list. Think for a second, if it's heavier, would this be easier for a planet to have in its atmosphere or harder? Let's click the button and find out. As you notice, this time the line is all the way down here, and this planet falls within the color shaded region above xenon, and so that means it would be able to have xenon in its atmosphere. Now there's a trend here. If it can have xenon in its atmosphere and xenon is the heaviest, that then means other way around. If we get a planet that has hydrogen in its atmosphere, so if you have a planet that falls somewhere up here, then since hydrogen is the lightest and the hardest to hold on to, that means this planet could also have any of these other molecules in its atmosphere. Okay, at the same token, if you have a planet that falls into this range down here below xenon, then it won't have any of the things above it at all. Now, one thing I do want to point out to you guys, we've not discussed this yet in class, but don't assume that even though the planet falls here, this does not mean for sure it would have oxygen in its atmosphere. Oxygen like this is produced through biologic processes, meaning there has to be living stuff there already to have produced the oxygen, basically to have changed the planet's oxygen into this specific form of oxygen that we breathe. The planet might have something like carbon dioxide with oxygen in it, but that's not the kind of oxygen that we breathe. So it's a possibility for a planet that falls here. Oxygen is a possibility, but it's not a definite. Right, good luck with this, and ask for help as needed.